welcome everybody. You can take a seat for the moment. We're going to be doing some exercise and some movement today. But I'm going to just kind of do a bit of talking to start things off. A little bit of an introduction to me, James, and then we're going to go. We can talk a little bit about the program and what I hope you will all get from it. And I hope, and I think it's going to be a lot. So it's really exciting. And for some of you, I can there's some names in here that I can see that have been here before, which is fantastic. And welcome back. And then there's some new people here that I haven't seen before. So welcome back, not back, just welcome. Nice to meet you all. I'm James, and I'm one of the personal trainers on the Goldster platform. I work quite closely with people on and off Goldster, but away from Goldster, I work almost exclusively with people over the age of 50 years old. I help people overcome injury. I help people move sort of, or find ways of moving more comfortably for sort of everyday life and kind of activities that people do in everyday life. So it's really quite functional exercise that I specialize in. A lot of people come to me because they have an activity, or they have an activity they want to feel better for. It could be, I work with people who play sort of tennis and things like that, and I help them build sort of movement fitness levels that make them better at tennis at all levels, like Sunday club tennis and stuff like that, and it's great fun. I have people that I work with who one of my clients is a delivery man, and he collects furniture for a charity, and for a long time he found that were quite tough, so I work with him to help him lift stuff more easily. So it's all really quite functional, and the other part of that is I help people overcome injury and pain. If you have injury and pain that has stuck with you for a long time, persistent pain, chronic pain, and you've exhausted all your options, you've had a diagnosis, it's not really getting much better, I help with people to work around that sort of pain and discomfort to get them back to doing the things that is stopping them from doing as well. So whilst I'm not a doctor or a physio or chiropractor, I don't fix people. However, there are some amazing things we can do, especially with chronic pain, which is real, very real. But quite often there's no real sort of evidence of something, wrong, essentially. So we can help people overcome chronic pain by helping them do movements that they find tricky, or working around movements that they find tricky, and getting them back to where they want to be. And it might be going back, it might be that they've got bad back and there's no, they've been to the doctor, they can't find anything like really wrong, it's non-specific back pain, but it stops them from doing something like gardening that they love. Well, I'll help them kind of find ways to do the gardening without causing any discomfort or further pain. And over time, a lot of the time, that actually helps people quite a lot, and they'll find that their pain or discomfort or injury kind of subsides. And I've trained quite extensively in sort of understanding sort of pain and the science behind pain. It's complex, and I can't even pretend to know it all, but I'll do my best. And I help to sort of help pass on that information in as sort of simple terms as I can for everybody else, layman terms for everyone else to understand, because part of this program is about education. It is about helping people understand lots of different things about movement, exercise, balance. Obviously it's a full prevention program, so I want everyone to kind of come away from this going feeling like they've learned something, feeling that they feel more comfortable on their feet, they feel like they're more balanced, they feel confident, you hopefully worry, I don't know if the worry is the right word, but worry less about maybe doing things, maybe something, maybe there's things that you do and you're always conscious about, oh well, that's going to be a bit of a tough thing to do, or maybe it's going for a long walk with the family or something like that, and I don't want those things to be a hurdle. I want to help you sort of overcome any potential fears best I can in a group situation over a 6-week period. But I hope that this adds a lot of value. we're really incredibly robust people, and that's like one of my major points to all of this, is that human beings are incredibly robust, and I don't believe that we kind of get or give ourselves the credit we deserve, because I think that we are amazing, we're incredibly strong, our bodies are really adaptive to different situations and environments that we're faced with. We don't actually have to give it a lot of thought, because our central nervous system and our brain does all of that work for us. We just have to look out of our eyes, smell with our nose, and listen with our ears. I just made that up. It's quite good. I just made that up. But we don't have a lot of the things that we do. We don't have to think about, because it's all done subconsciously. And actually what happens is when we overthink things, when we give things too much thought, when we worry about the way that we're moving or lifting and all these types of things, actually that is shown to make things more complex and more complicated than they need to be. We don't need to give it as much thought. So number one rule of Fall Prevention Program is there is no wrong way to perform any of the exercises or movements that we're going to do in the 6 weeks. It is all down to you to find ways of sort of adapting or regressing different movements to make them feel good for you. That's the most important thing. I want you to be feeling good and happy and coming away from sessions going, you know what, exercise isn't quite as horrible as I thought it was going to be, and it's actually quite fun, and maybe I'll give it another go. Because that's also my goal. I want to help people find enjoyment out of movement. It's really important. And it's really important because whilst we're here to improve the way that we feel moving around for fall prevention, the benefits of exercise, there is one certainty in this massive well-being world, is that exercise is good for us. That's it. It's really boring, but it's true. Exercise is good for us. So I have to work to help people to, and what I spend my time doing is helping people find ways of enjoying exercise, because you know what, it's so common that people don't, and that is completely okay. It's not for everybody. Going to the gym is not for everybody. Lifting weights is not for everybody. Running is not for everybody. Definitely not. So, and that is completely okay. There's no one sort of solution to all of this either. So, I'm not going to sit in here and go, you need to do this, and this is going to be the thing that helps you or stops you from falling. It's going to be a lot. So there's a lot of stuff that we just need to keep on trying. And as far as I'm concerned, the more that you try different things, the closer we are to finding, or you finding, the thing that you enjoy, that helps you the most. We're all wired differently. We all think differently. Some things work for others. I always use the example of, like, if people want to try and lose weight through diets and things, and they do a food diary and they're told to count every single calorie that they put past their mouth. I cannot for one do that for more than about one biscuit at a time, and I can't. I don't have the power to write diaries. It's just not how I work. So whilst that might be fantastic for some people, they can write diaries and they enjoy it and they can write everything down, it doesn't work for everyone. So it's just an example of the fact that we have to work, and I have to give you and show you as many different options as I possibly can for you to be able to go away from here and find the thing that works for you. And that's quite fun, because I see that as a bit of an adventure. And hopefully when we find the thing that works for you, we can celebrate it. We can throw a party, a big old fall prevention party. It's not that official, but we can all celebrate it and go, do you know what, actually, this has stemmed me to go and try this, or this has given me the confidence to go and try this down my local village hall, or it might be on Goldster, or it might be I don't know, down the bowls club, or anything. I don't know why I'm thinking of those things, but I'd love to play bowls. I haven't got around to it yet, but I will sign up soon. That's my kind of game, strategy. Oh, that's what gets my juices flowing. Right, golf. So it's about trying to help you find, give you the confidence, give you inspiration, and and motivation is something that a lot of people talk. I believe that, and I think it's not even a belief, it's a thing. I need to help inspire you to stay motivated. Okay, so it's not, you know, when people say, well, I haven't got the motivation to do this, or I haven't got the motivation to that, I believe it's because the inspiration hasn't been sort of planted in the first place. And we can find that inspiration and show you why really quickly in 6 weeks, why this is important and how this can help. Hopefully you'll be inspired to stay motivated to keep on doing more of it once the 6 weeks is over, whether that's in here, whether that's, like I say, in another Goldster class, this, that, and the other. It's an open class. It's a big group. Obviously, it's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. If you want to have questions, feel free to send things into the chat. I will even reserve, so kind of me, I'll reserve a few moments of everyone's time at the end of the session if anyone wants to unmic themselves and wants to ask any questions. You can. It's a big group. I don't expect you to. You can have your cameras on, you can have your cameras off, do whatever makes you feel comfortable. You're at home, and that's fantastic. Put your slippers on. You can sit there with a cup of tea and that bicky if you want to. I don't mind. Make yourselves comfy. What else? Yes. So there will be time for questions. Feel free to ask them. I'll also share my email address. I won't do that now. I'll share my email address at the end of the session, and I'm quite open to if you have questions that you don't want to be public with, or you don't want to share in front of the group for whatever reason, feel free to drop me an email, and I'll always do my best to come back to you within at least 48 hours, sometimes a little bit longer, and I apologize for that in advance, but I have a lot going on. But I will come back to you. I will come back to you and hopefully offer you some advice or answer to your question at the very least. The program itself, like I say, there's not one thing that's going to be the solution for fall prevention. There are lots of many things. And when we look at people's movements, we kind of explore, certainly when I'm working with most of my clients, to be honest, we also, thanks, Megley, Mr. Motivator, not quite as famous as Mr. Motivator or as cool as Mr. Motivator. I don't have any of those leotards either. The point of this, so basically when I train anyone, when I work with anybody, there are sort of 5 or 6. I've sort of condensed them for fall prevention, but there are 4 or 5, maybe 6 sometimes, skills, movement skills that athletes work on. So for the next 6 weeks, we're all athletes, which is fantastic. I consider everyone to be an athlete anyway, just at whatever level that you're comfortable at being an athlete, that's perfect. We look at these 6 skills, and each session is a little bit different in this fall prevention this time. We're going to be blending them up a little bit more. So we're going to be doing a lot more of each in each class. However, what we're going to do is have a little focus on each session in one of these particular skills. They look something like this: getting up and down. So whilst it's not actually getting up and down off the floor, it's called vertical displacement down is the technical word. I call it getting up and down, getting low to high. So things like squatting and lunging. Okay, it's a great movement skill for leg strength, balance, being able to get up and down comfortably, getting down lower into cupboards and things like that, and just making generally that movement more comfortable. We're going to be looking at locomotion, which is essentially walking around. Or getting around, essentially. We're going to be looking at reach, which is quite stretchy, and it just involves us kind of going to sort of end range with our movement. So, you know, I think generally speaking, as we perhaps go through life, the sort of natural thing to do is perhaps not be as big with our movements, and perhaps we kind of, you know, typically slow down. We want to sort of keep everyone sped up, sort of within reason, but it's about kind of trying to show you how big a movement and how great a sort of positions you can get into through reach and stretch. Then we're going to be looking at change of direction, which I love change of direction. One, because I like sports that involve change of direction. That's me, though. So like things like tennis, football, all these kind of like, you know, sports where you have to kind of get from one position to the other. Scaled back to everyday life, that's really important too. because when we are thinking about some, falling or stumbling, or, that moment where you go, oh, I'm about to go, we want to be able to have that skill to be able to get from one position to another in order to save ourselves, essentially. Okay, so all of these skills, they all have a place in helping us become better movers. As much as anything else, they just open your eyes to all the different ways in which we can move. Which is something that I've learned along the way by teaching people that have just never really, you never have a reason to give any of these things a thought. These are all designed at, so say, athletes. We're the athletes, so they're designed for us. And they're the types of movements that get used in sport, but we scale them all back to everyday life. Yes, there will be a wiggle squat, Mandy, of course. A lot of laughing. We scale them all back to everyday life, and they have a wonderful place in helping people feel more comfortable, developing strength, cardiovascular fitness, all of these things to help you feel more confident, comfortable on your feet, in turn preventing falls. Okay. Now, a couple of last little bits before we get started. With some assessments today, actually, it's like school, is that whilst we don't really know which one of these things is going to be the thing that helps, but hopefully they all help. Oh, we didn't mention balance in there. That's quite a big one. So balance. There's a session on balance as well. So beyond these movement skills, we've also got the fact that, like I said before, exercise is fantastic for us. So all of these things are going to sort of have major benefits to us, whether it's increasing bone density through sort of low impact walking, or walking on the spot, or walking around, change of direction, sort of loading the legs, whether it's cardiovascular fitness, which helps keep our hearts healthy, which makes sort of making everyday tasks like walking up and down the stairs easier, building strength, which naturally has a place in our lives. We know being stronger has so many benefits to how we feel in terms of confidence, in terms of, again, like going back to the stairs, making those types of tasks feel easier. There's so many benefits to everything that we're going to do here. So it's a fall prevention course, but don't think of this as it's all about fall prevention. You hopefully are going to come away from this going, yes, this is, there's just countless benefits to what it is we're going to be doing through the 6 weeks. With each session, we're going to have a little chat like this. And I want this chat to be hopefully engaging. I don't want you to come and think, oh, it's going to be a boring chat with me. I try my best never to make things boring, but it's hopefully going to be around topics which I think stand in the way of people either being more active, or just about educating people and giving people advice about how to tackle certain topics such as injury or pain, and giving them sort of a step-by-step guide, for example, especially when we talk about pain, and like what the process is that we should take, and the importance of certain elements such as getting a diagnosis or something like that, because there's a lot of things that we do. I think humans, we're naturally incredibly stubborn. I don't know. Are there any other mammals that are stubborn? I don't know. Or is it just a human trait? I think it's just a human trait. We're incredibly stubborn, and we don't like going to see the doctor about stuff sometimes. A lot of us don't anyway. But it is really important. It is really important if you find anything, particular discomfort, or you don't have an idea of something that you're, pain that you is undiagnosed. We don't know what we're working with, so it's really important to go and find these things out from the doctor and get you all clear, or maybe get a further recommendation from the doctor to help sort of build a strategy to get you out of the pain. We should not, it's not a given that we should be living with pain. So there's a little talk about that, and again, it's all open to questions. It's all open to sort of conversation as well. But hopefully, again, that packaged with the exercises, you're going to be walking out of here you can all be Goldster presenters. Good. You can train me. So there's a lot to cover, but it's meant to be fun. It's meant to be engaging. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. This time I'm also going to be setting a few little whether or not you choose to accept them, some challenges to between the sessions. Okay, so help sort of fast track your way out of this program into feeling more competent, and I'll talk about that right at the end of today's session. So yes, right, today we're going to jump straight in with some exercises here. And these exercises are going to be considered our assessments. Okay, so we're going to do them today. We're going to do them at the end of the program, and fingers crossed, you're all going to see an improvement between now and then. So I'm going to leave this up to you. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises that we're going to do here. I'm going to leave them up to you. I'm going to leave up to you how you kind of score this. You could get a pen and paper and sort of mark them down out of 10. That's probably my advice, to be honest. So each exercise, we'll go through a couple of times with each exercise. Some of them you've done before, some of them you haven't. But we're going to sort of make some sort of reference. You can just remember this if you want to, and how they feel. It's completely subjective to you. So I have to also just mention this as well, because we're in such a big group, as a big group of people. No one here is of the same ability. We're going to have people that come to our classes all the time. We're going to have people that haven't been to any of our classes before. Or this is your first, sort of time doing anything like this, and that's completely cool. But the point is that I want I want you to score these exercises just how you feel. There's no right or wrong to any of them, as I say. I want you just to kind of make a mental note and go, okay, well, honestly, that could be a bit better, or that didn't feel great. And there's a few markers that we can kind of score out, and I'll talk about those a little bit more as we go. Other than that, I think that's it. Everyone get all that? Everyone write it down. It's on record, so you can watch it back again if you want to. Right. I think it all made sense. If I think of anything else, I'll come back to you. Right. Okay. So I'm going to change my camera over. I'm going to go to my camera in the sky here. Yes. There we go. Right. There we go. Okay. So the one thing I'm going to say about this, all of this, is I'm going to say that if you want to have a chair handy, because naturally this is a fall prevention program, and some people may find, yes, but the best part, yes, it's a fall prevention program. So for some of you, if balance is something that you find challenging, like I say, that's absolutely okay. You might want to have a chair handy or nearby for any of these exercises. A chair, a wall, door. Think of your own sort of safety and abilities. Make sure the floor is clear. The obvious sort of things that we need to think about. But make sure you feel safe. Like I say, this is all about trying to get a subjective reading on how it is that you feel through these exercises. Okay, there's no right or wrong. 6 exercises, recovering the skills I mentioned before. So up and down, reach, locomotion, so a bit of walking, balance, and then a bit of change of direction. Okay, I want you to measure all of these as you feel fit, out of 10. All right, so the first exercise we're going to do is a squat. Okay, now the one thing I'm also going to mention at this point, among the rest of the other things, is that it is actually shown, I mentioned this at the start, the more verbal cues that someone gets given, the more complicated an exercise becomes for them, because you are trying to overthink, or if I give you a cue like, think about where your weight is distributed, or where are your knees, and this, that, and the other, it actually makes things more complicated for people. So I'm not going to give you too many cues in this, and what you'll hopefully see is, as you go through the program, the more variation we add to all of these exercises, the more they'll feel comfortable to yourself. And remember, the first time we do exercises, especially ones that we're not familiar with, they are going to feel a little bit strange, they are going to feel a little bit wobbly probably, but this is all about our central nervous system learning our movement patterns and how to perform or execute an exercise. Okay, so and central nervous system is one of the topics we talk about in one of the later sessions. Okay, so pick a number. Eight squats. Why not? Okay, so however you feel that they should be performed is right. There is no wrong. I want you to do 8, and I want you to kind of give yourself a score out of 10 on each one to sort of get a feel for how they feel. Okay, so we'll all do this together. If you want to have a chair handy, you can hold on to the back of the chair if you want to. It's quite a nice way to kind of ease into these. And we're going to do 8 squats. All right, so we're going 3, 2, 1. 8 squats. So absolutely do what you think and feels right. There is no wrong. Okay, 8 squats. What I want you to think about is perhaps the depth. Perhaps think about how they feel through the legs. These are all things that are going to feel different to everybody. How they feel in the knees. Do they tire your legs out? Do they feel comfortable? And then sort of somehow take like an average score of all of those things and put them into a marker out of 10. Okay, so we'll do a couple more, and you can rest there. Nice work, everybody. Nice work. Okay, rest. Now this next one is a new one. I didn't really have time to sort of give this much thought. Well, no, I had time to give it much thought. I didn't get time to trial it, so today on my guinea pigs. Right, so this is going to be a bit of a reach test. Now, we're going to stand upright, okay, and we're going to reach our hands out in front of us. Now, please, again, might be good to have a chair in front of you or a wall in front of you here. We're going to just try and reach as far forward as we can. You could almost use a wall as a bit of a target. And I want you to reach as far forward as you can, just before you obviously fall forward. I don't want anyone to fall forward, but I want you to kind of see how far you can reach without sort of having to take that step to sort of rebalance yourself. Okay, and then come back up to standing. Okay, we're just going to take a little measure of sort of how that feels for you. Okay, and again, we're going to come back to this later on in the program, and I'm hopefully going to see that, or we're going to see that we can perhaps go a little bit further than we did before. It's quite a stretchy one. Again, it's very subjective to you. There's no right or wrong. Take a little measure of how that feels. Okay, good work, everybody. That's an easy, quick one. We'll move on to the next. Okay, so again, that's quite a nice one to practice. Works the backs of the legs and the calves, just reaching as far forward as you can without obviously falling. Okay, that's exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, we're going to do some walking. We're going to walk the tightrope. Okay, we're going to walk the tightrope, heel to toes. We're going to cross our arms for these. So again, walking forward and back, heel to toe. We're not going to turn around. But I just want you to have a little test to see how these feel to you in terms of your balance, basically, how they feel to you. Walking the tightrope forward, and then we reverse and we go backwards. If you find this really challenging, you can sort of close one eye at a time. Or you close both eyes, but then you can't really see what you're doing. Close one eye at a time, and that makes things quite a lot trickier as well. Okay, and again, it's just about trying to take that measure of how this walking feels to you. It may be really quite straightforward, it may be quite challenging, score it out of 10, and it might be something that you feel like you could would help if you could feel more confident or comfortable through this exercise. You may feel okay. All right, so walking forward and back, go one more forward, one more back, arms crossed. You can half your senses with your eyes if you want to, and back. Good work, everyone. Nice. And you can rest there. Well done. Okay. The good old-fashioned balancing on one leg is next. Okay. The good old-fashioned balancing on one leg. It doesn't get much more fall prevention than this. How long can we all stand on one leg for? And I will let you know I'll let you into a little secret. Balancing on one leg isn't the answer to falls. Fall prevention. Everywhere you look for fall prevention, it's about balancing on one leg. Brushing your teeth, balancing on one leg. Little secret, it's not all about this at all. However, it is a good balance. It is a good assessment to see how well we balance. Okay, so for 20 seconds, 20 seconds. We're going to hold our hands out in front of us, palms facing towards the sky. Okay, we're going to raise our right knee up as high as we can. Again, that's completely, do what you can. Have a chair handy if you want to. And we're going to see how long we can hold that for, up to 20 seconds, not for like the rest of the session or anything, but 20 seconds. 20 seconds. And you're just going to measure to see how that feels. And again, we're going to score. You can do a score for each leg on these ones. Okay, a score for each leg. Wobble is good. Wobble is our body's learning. Wobble is our central nervous system learning. And that is okay. All right, 3, 2, 1. Well done. You can have a little score of that. And there is a really solid chance that when we go on to the other leg, balancing on the right leg, you'll feel that one leg is sort of slightly easier to do than the other. Pretty usual. Okay, so balancing on the right leg this time. Same again, hands out in front, palms up towards the sky. Left knee up nice and high. And we're going to hold there 20 seconds or so. And see how that feels. Try and breathe through it as well, James. Always find myself just holding my breath. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, everyone. You can rest there. See how those felt. For me, my right leg is just so much more sturdy. Okay, good work. Right. We've got last one to do here. Last one to do. So, a couple of things I want you to think about here. A couple of things I want you to think about. One is the sort of speed or the tempo in which you execute this exercise, and also how it feels to sort of change direction. Does it feel fluid? Is it a bit, do you feel like it's a bit sort of, I hate using this word, but like sluggish? Or do you feel like you can do it quite well? Again, it's completely subjective to you. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do a few quick steps. So this is for change of direction. We're going to do a few quick steps on our tiptoes. Off our right leg, we're going to push to come back. So we've got to change direction. Okay, little steps, pushing, change direction, coming back the other way. All right, and it's about how small the steps are, how quick you sort of feel. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel unsteady? Again, sort of mark it out of 10. This is, going to be part of one of the sessions where we sort of deep dive into these movement skills one at a time. Okay, so from side to side, we'll go for like 20 seconds or so here. So little steps to the right, and then there's a little push off to change direction of the outside leg to go back the other way. So little steps, good. 20 seconds or so, push. You're going to lean into the outside leg, load the leg, and spring. If I call it spring, well done. Call it spring and spring. That doesn't even make sense, but close. 3, 2, and 1. Good work, everybody. You can also sort of measure how that feels in terms of your breathness as well. So, did it get the heart rate up? And were you able to puff out through that? And that's also another measure, because if you can sort of see that there's an improvement over the 6 weeks of your cardiovascular fitness and how that felt to you, then also that's another really good thing. And that all adds up. So, assessment's done. And I'm going to tell leg. I can let you into another little secret. That's all exercise. So there's 10 minutes of exercise we've just tied into our days. Good work, everybody. Good work. Right. So we're going to build on some of these today. I'm going to give you a few extra demonstrations of a couple of other things we've done before, we have done in the past, which are nice little drills to practice. And again, you don't need to worry about measuring these. You can do if you want to. I'm sure they'll crop up again, but we're going to go through a few exercises that I like, and also sort of challenge the balance, so challenge our movement a little bit, and yeah, hopefully they're going to be quite good. So it's not all about legs. The more freely we can move our bodies through all of, as many different movements we can, like the Swiss Army knife of movement, then the easier that sort of generally speaking, movement or more comfortable comfort we'll feel from when we get called into a certain position or environment, or have to change the way that we're moving to account for something that's going on around us. So if we're quite rigid people, then obviously that becomes a little bit more challenging. So we want to try and get as much of us well moved as we can. Okay, so we're going to kind of work through the body. We're going to do a bit of stretchy stuff. We're going to do a bit of footwork, but we're also going to do a bit of shoulders and a bit of neck as well. So standing up nice and tall. Okay, standing up nice and tall. We're going to do a few neck tilts. Get a bit of a stretch of the neck. So right ear down to right shoulder, left ear down to left shoulder. We just get a bit of a tilt on there. You're trying to keep your shoulders nice and still. Okay, relax your shoulders. Relax the body. It's a nice calm bit of the session. Okay, and we're going to go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, you can relax there. Okay, we're going to go for some rotations of the head. Okay, so just looking over right shoulder, looking over left shoulder. So I also want you to, whilst, you know, I don't want everyone to come away from this class being completely knackered. I want you to go away from this class going, oh, you know what, all of those movements we did today have actually made me feel quite good today. And I feel like I've kind of loosened up the body. So we're going to do these rotations. We'll go a couple more each side. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Standing up nice and tall. We're going to look down to the floor, chin into chest, and then we're going to look up to the sky. So forward and back. Okay, forward and back. Looking up as high as you can. Down towards the ground and back up. Nice work, everyone. And 2, and 1. Good. Well done. You can rest there. Jacket's coming off. It's serious. Okay. So shoulders. All right. A bit of neck. A little shake off. Shoulders. Nice big sweep to the arms. Palms down by hips. Palms facing forward. We're just going to go up over the head. Nice big sweeps. Good work. Nice big sweeps. Oh. Try and keep the arms back. But just try and take the shoulder joint through as much range as we can. And the one thing I haven't spoken about, and I've been sort of arguing about whether to speak about it or not, but I'm there now, is the body moves in 3 directions, in 3 main directions. Okay, and that is forward and back. That's called the sagittal plane. We do a couple more of these. And then they go side, and the body goes side to side, which is the frontal plane, which is this plane. So taking our arms out to the side, or legs out to the side. And then we've got the transverse plane, which is twisting and turning. So if we can get comfortable, rest there. If we can get comfortable moving in those 3 different directions, across the body from head to toe, then it really makes us sort of feel more comfortable during sort of everything that we do, really. Okay, so we're going to go rotations with the arms here. So we're going to cross our arms across the body. Okay, and we're going to take our arms out to T. So that's a bit of external rotation there for the shoulders, and then we're going to bring them back across the body. And we're just going to open up the arms, open up the chest, pinch your shoulder blades as you take the arm back. And we're going to go 3. We're not going to spend too long here. 2 and 1. Nice work. And then last but not least, the shoulders, hands out in front, palms facing one another. One's going to go up, one's going to go down. Oh, nice big sort of exaggerated marching on the spot. And I should have said, you can do this sort of first half from a seated position as well. If you wanted to sit down, that's no problem. Good. And 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. You can rest there. Good. All right. So we're going to go into a bit of reach here. We're going to include a bit of footwork as well. So we're going to take our hands up into this cactus position. Okay. We're going to step with our right foot. Small step to the right. Reach over the head with our left hand. We're going to step to the left. Right hand goes over. So we get a nice big stretch. We get into the core a little bit here as well. So still a bit of shoulders, bit of core, and we're getting a bit of footwork as well. Good. Little steps. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. From side to side. Nice work. I'm going to do 4, 3. Keep going. 2 and 1. Nice work. Okay. This time, steps are going to go forward. Steps are going to go forward. We're going to have our hands out in front of us. Okay. And we're going to step forward and we're going to twist to the right. And we're going to step forward with the left foot, twist to the left. So twist to the side we're stepping with. Just stepping forward and back, little steps. Nice big twist. This one we can get in the hips a little bit. Most movements come from the hips. I'll leave that there. You think about between now and next week. Okay. Oh, nice big twist. Good work. And we're going to go 3, 2, and 1. Well done, everyone. Good. And you can have a little shake off. Nice work. Okay. And then last but not least, Okay, forward and back with the body. We're going to have a nice stretch of the tummy, nice stretch of the back. Okay, still a bit of arms in here. Right foot. So again, if you want to hold on to or have something handy nearby, you can. Okay, alternating feet. We'll start with the feet, stepping back onto tiptoes. This is a really nice stretch. This is a really nice stretch and move and exercise. Okay, little steps back with the feet onto tiptoes. Okay, onto tiptoes. And then as you step back, both arms are going to go as high as you can up to the sky. And we get a nice big extension of the spine. We get a nice stretch through the tummy, probably a little bit in the hip flexors and quads as well, especially if you drive the hips forward. Oh, a little bit. Good. Oh. Arms nice and high. You have a little swing of the arms back down past the hips. And we're going to go 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, everyone. And you can rest there. Okay. So, right. We're going to go into just a couple of little moves here for the hips. Okay. So we're getting into the hips just a tiny bit. So we're going to go. We're going to have a reach. Okay. So take the feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to kind of lean into one leg at a time. But I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you an option. You can either just lean into one leg at a time into this sort of static side lunge. If you want to get a little bit more out of the groin, you can reach as well. So opposite hand to opposite foot. So that's the option. And that makes it a little bit more challenging. But that reach is just going to drive you to get a little bit lower, a little bit deeper into that stretch. But I'll leave that up to you. Maybe do a few where you reach, maybe do a few where you don't reach. Good work. And we're going to go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. You can come back up to standing. We're going to go into some high knees. Okay, so just high knees, bit of marching on the spot. Try and get the foot up as high as you can. All right. Again, it's a really simple drill. We're trying to train the body through motor skill learning, another topic we'll talk about. To train the body to kind of pick up our feet a little bit higher, train the body to sort of be more comfortable with getting the knees up nice and high. And the more you do these types of things, the more you'll notice how much easier they feel, how much height you can get out of them so quickly. Okay, so we're going to go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Okay, right. Little rest there. Might be out of breath a little bit. Yes, okay. Take some nice big deep breaths. I'm going to demonstrate the next one. This is new full prevention. Okay, so bit of spring through the foot and ankle. We can either, if you want to hold on to the back of a chair, you can, or a wall. Okay, we're going to come up onto tiptoes. It's either a little hop, or just come up onto your tiptoes and back down. We're going to try and do it with a little bit of tempo. Okay, so we'll actually probably get you a bit of breathless. Okay, but it's also just trying to create a little bit of spring through the foot and ankle. Now, make it yours. Okay, either up onto tiptoes. If you can and want to sort of completely jump off the floor, then give it a go. Okay, we're going to go for let's go for 20 or so. I think that's about 10 already. So again, just training the foot and ankle to have a bit more power through it, a bit more spring. Anyway, that spring in your step, that's the saying. Do what you can, either up onto tiptoes or a little bit of jump. Good, and we're going to go 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Well done, everybody. You can rest there. If you want to have a sip of water at this stage, you can. We've got around about 5 minutes or so here that it's going to go through a couple of exercises. Some of my favorites. Okay, pivots. So down into the lower body, and this is a bit of a leg exercise. We're going to start small and we're going to build into these. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the hip working. We're going to get the hip working. Nice. All right. nice hip. Okay. We're going to go right foot. I do say some funny things in here. Things I wouldn't normally say in the real world, I don't think. Right. Wherever that real world place is out there. Right foot. We're going to take some small steps. Right foot, forward and back. Okay. That real world place everyone talks about. Okay. Right foot, forward and back. Stepping forward, stepping back. Stepping forward, stepping back. Little steps. Now, we're going to turn these into some pretty big moonwalks. Not the Michael Jackson type of moonwalk. The Neil Buchanan, no, not Neil Buchanan, oh gosh. Oh, don't tell me I've forgotten who landed on the moon. Oh, no. Gosh. Well, the moonwalk anyway. Okay, so we're going to take them a little bit bigger. All right? We're going to take them a little bit bigger and we're going to slow them down a little bit too. So we're going to spend a bit of time on this left leg. And when I say it's nice for the hips, whilst we're doing the steps with the right foot, we're pivoting over the top of the left foot. Left hip, left hip. All right? So forward and back, nice and slow, until we can make them just a little bit bigger again. And then we're going to slow it down again as well. Okay, and now you have got Armstrong. Armstrong. Neil Armstrong? It's all right. Gosh. Nice big steps, forward and back, nice and slow, just like they did on the moon. Oh gosh, Neil Armstrong. Yes, I think that's right, isn't it? Okay, nice big slow ones. Right, there and back is one. We're going to go for 3 more, as slow as you can. As slow as you can. 2 more. Get the hands out to the side to add a bit of stability to it. Last one, and you can rest there. Nice work, everybody. Nice work. Have a little shake off of the leg. We're going to go on to the other side, okay? Oh, little shake. Right. Right foot stays still, okay? Left foot, start nice and small. These ones can be a little bit quicker. Just practicing going forward and back. A little bit of a dance, a little bit of a boogie. I'm not a dancer. Okay. Right. A little bit bigger, a little bit slower. A little bit bigger, a little bit slower. Okay, and this is your taster to pivots, by the way. We'll be doing more pivots next week. Next week in the form of different directions. Okay, so a little bit bigger again and a little bit slower again. Nice work. We can plant the Goldster flag in the crust of the moon. They'll say it's fake. Right. Okay, for 3, as big as you can, as slow as you can, forward and back. 1. That right leg getting a bit of work here. 2, and last one for 3. Good work, everybody. You can rest there. Right. Sip of water. We're going to do one more exercise today, which a few of you will be fairly familiar with. For those of you who are not, we're going to do what is known as stepping around the clock. All right. So last exercise today. What we're going to do, and again, there's no real functional reason, rhyme or reason to be doing this, apart from it is a bit of a test of balance. It gets the hips working through lots of different directions, as with a lot of these exercises. And you can sort of go, well, actually today, yeah, okay, well, that was a bit challenging. I felt quite stretchy. I felt a bit off balance there. And then when we come back to it, we come back to it in a few sections time, and hopefully you see an improvement. Okay, so easy. Right leg to begin with. We're going to step around the clock. Not to every single time, but we're going to step to 12, 1, 3, 5, and 6. All right, with the right foot. Now, the only rule of this game is, if you can call it a game, is that we turn the foot to face the time we're stepping to. So as we turn, like a clock, our leg is the hand of the clock. We have to turn our foot to step to that specific time, okay? So we're going to step like 3 or 4 times to each number, all right? So right foot, 3 times, step to 12 o'clock, 3 or 4 times, step to 12 o'clock, okay? We step forward, we step back. So we always come back to the center of our clock. This is my Matt, by the way. This is Matt. He doesn't mind being trodden, walked all over. He doesn't mind being walked all over. But hopefully it helps you have a little bit of perspective as to what I'm doing as well. That's why I use the mat. Okay, to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Okay, so diagonal, turn the foot out. 3 or 4, turn, 1 o'clock. Good work, everyone. Good work. Okay. All right, then we're going to go to 3 o'clock. So right foot, step for 3. Step for 3. Okay. And then we're going to go right foot to 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay, turn the foot out. This is where it starts to feel a little bit more challenging, probably in the groin, maybe a little bit in the hips. So we've got left foot facing to 12, we've got right foot facing to 5. Good. And then the last one here, we're going to go all the way to 6 o'clock. Do whatever you can. Do the best you can. Get the hands out to stabilize you. See if you can step to 6 and come back. See how it feels. See how you get on. Well done, everybody. 3. Oh, we'll go 1 more. 4. And you can rest. There. Nice. Okay, again, you can take a little note or measure how that feels. Okay. Same again to finish here before we have a little sit down and we'll wrap up the session. Left foot forward this time. So left foot to 12. 3 or 4 steps and back. 2. 3. 4. Left foot to what would be 10:30 to be precise. 10:30. Good. All right. And then we're going to go over to 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Good work, everyone. Turn that foot out to 7. 7:30. Turn that foot. 3 or 4 steps there. Get those hands out to add a little bit of stability. Well done. And all the way around. Oh, gosh. Don't fall. All the way around to 6. Toes facing away from one another. 3, 2, and 1. Good work, everybody. You can rest there. Have a sit down. That is session number 1 of full prevention. Almost tipped off. I'm going to come back to my desk. 1 second. So don't let anybody tell you that wasn't 40 minutes of exercise that we've just done. So give yourselves a massive pat on the back. You know, it's a lot. It's different. You know, it's a sort of a demonstration of the fact that exercise does not have to come in the form of being in a gym or lifting weights or doing all these other things that we sort of are told that we have to do all the time. It's about moving our bodies, and it's about challenging ourselves, because some of those will be challenging, some of those but maybe not so much, depending on your own sort of abilities. But the idea is that we try and get us moved in as many different ways as we can, and that's the sort of goal over the next 6 weeks. Like I say, there will be a bit of a focus on different topics and different skills, and then we're going to try and tie each one in with sort of where we kind of go over everything that we've been learning along the way, and hopefully it's going to be fun. Hopefully it's going to help everyone in some way, shape or form. If anyone's got any questions, yes, Sue. Yeah, good tip. Looking up peripheral. I was actually speaking to someone who's like a professional wood hiker. That's not a thing, is it? A professional hiker the other day, and he walks through trails in like really kind of precarious locations, and he was talking about his peripheral vision and how he looks way beyond where he's actually walking, and never looks down at the floor, because he's always sort of scanning and mapping his route before he gets to it, meters ahead. It's quite a skill. Oh, great, Sue! Brilliant, fantastic. Oh, tell me what it is you do. So that's sorry, off track there. So yeah, looking up is a really good skill. There's going to be lots of tips along the way as well. You know, one of the things I haven't mentioned today is fall prevention, that we cannot as much as I'd love to be able to sit here and say we're going to just stop falls, it's like injuries. We can't predict them. Falls, often come, when we're not expecting them. I can hopefully help you through this and what you do beyond this program to prevent or lower the probability of falling. But there is an element of things that we need to think about, and we will kind of go into this in a bit more detail again throughout the program. But thinking about having, if you do think you're a high probability of a fall, having a lanyard for your phone or a button that you can reach out to people on your wrist. Things like handles, being extra careful in the bathroom. The majority of falls happen in the bathroom. That's kind of statistic. Oh, thanks. I'll take a look. Thanks, Sue. So that's there are things that we have to do. Making sure that the floor is clean and hazards are not sort of left lying. Dogs, pets. Always tripping over my dog. We have to be mindful, but we'll go into a bit more detail about those along the way as well. But if you have any questions, you can email me at James. I'll put that into the chat now. James.Hilton at Goldster .co.uk, and you can drop me an email there if you have any questions. Well, Megali, that's the thing. So actually, what Sue was saying though, if you're looking forward, if you're kind of, it's like when you're driving. If you look at at the tip of the bonnet as you're driving, don't suggest that. But we actually typically look as far forward as when I was taught to drive. I remember this as well. Always looking so far ahead all of the time, and you're kind of predicting what happens next. So actually, if you're driving, again, probably don't try this. But if you're driving and you're going through a small gap, if you look way beyond the gap, opposed to getting to the gap and kind of trying to edge it or trying to suss the size of the gap from a really close distance, it's much harder to do it when you're looking at the bonnet than it is looking way beyond into the distance of that gap. Try it with a big gap first before you try it with like a really small one. But looking into the horizon, your peripheral vision does the work for you. It's an interesting little test that you can give that a go. So yeah, there's definitely a method in that. But again, there's so much to talk about, and I'll let you all go because that's quite exhausting for everyone, and there's a lot of information there. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I'm going to see you all again next week. It will be on record as well. The challenge is, if you don't, I know a lot of people do. If you don't, the challenge this week is on Goldster or somewhere away from here. Go and give whatever your level is. Go and give one of our little workout classes a go. You can do them live or you can do them on demand. Obviously, you don't fail if you don't do it, but give one a go because I want to, if I can, kind of cross-pollinate some of the other sessions so that it kind of helps you speed up this process and hopefully helps you kind of getting or feeling, closer to the sort of where we want to be at the end of this, subjected to yourselves, of course. Quicker. So between now and next Tuesday, go and try one of the other strength workouts. It's Duncan, Tim, Danielle as well, and go and give one of them a go, or yoga, Pilates, and then come back and let me know how you get on. That'd be great. Tim, oh, great, Mandy. Yeah, nice work. Go and do, yes, Tim's. Tim's classes are fantastic. I've done one of Tim's classes. I did one of his hard ones. They are quite hard. Almost brought me to tears. But do one of the entry ones or moderate, whatever. Go and give one a go. Have a great week, everybody. Rest of the week. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yes. Enjoy the rest of your week. I've got a strength class tomorrow. 30 minutes of body weight and 30 minutes of dumbbell work at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Come and join me for that and see how you get on. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Well done, everybody. Can't wait to kind of get on with this. Well done. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye, Megali. Bye, Gabby, Mandy, Julia, Joe, Lorraine, Catherine, Bren. Good to see you, Bren, Lewis, and Sue. Have a great week. Goodbye, everyone. I can't see. Have a great day. Bye-bye.